A man doesn't remember a woman by what she says. He remembers her by what he couldn't forget after she walked away. Let that settle in your chest for a moment. Because somewhere along the way, many of us were told a lie, a big one, that to attract him, to keep his focus, to make him feel that strong craving, you have to perform. Be louder, look sexier, act sweeter. You have to chase. You have to prove. You have to convince. But what if I told you that the women who leave the deepest marks don't chase anything? They're not acting from pressure or fear. They're moving with calm presence. Before we go further, if you've ever felt like you were doing everything right but still didn't get back the energy you were putting in, this next part could change how you see the entire game. Picture this: you're standing in the middle of a crowded street. Cars honking, people shouting, everyone moving fast, trying to be noticed. And right there in the middle of it, you close your eyes, take a breath, and strike a match. In a world full of chaos, that tiny flame, that calm confidence, that's what catches attention. That's what turns heads. That's what men feel. Because the truth is, attraction doesn't come from shouting louder. It comes from the way your energy moves. It's in the quiet, in the way you stand, in the way you don't rush to fill every space. Carl Jung once said, "The unconscious doesn't speak in words, it speaks in symbols." And you, my friend, were never meant to be just another voice in his inbox. You were meant to be a feeling he doesn't know how to explain. You don't need to become someone new to be unforgettable. You just need to stop hiding the part of you that already is. Men don't fall for logic. They don't think, well, she replied in 10 minutes and used 2 heart emojis, so I guess I'll give her everything. No, they fall for a feeling, for a moment, for a presence. They fall for how you enter a room slowly, calmly, like you're not trying to get anything from him, and then say something that doesn't just land in his ears but hits deep in his chest. You want to be the one he thinks about when he's brushing his teeth, when he's at the gym or in the middle of a meeting. Then stop trying to impress him. Start learning how to leave something with him, something he can't shake off. Because this isn't about being liked. This is about being remembered. This isn't about changing your dress, your hair, your laugh. It's about knowing how to use your words like they carry warmth. Like a soft fire, quiet but impossible to ignore. Today, we're not talking about cute messages or teasing tricks. We're talking about something deeper. When you understand how to speak emotional memory, when you learn how to use tone, timing, and presence, you stop chasing attention. You begin to carry presence. And no, this isn't manipulation. This is awareness. This is emotional magnetism. This is how women throughout history became unforgettable, not by pushing, but by simply being undeniable. So stay close, because in the next few minutes, you're going to hear 3 powerful lines, not to trap him, but to awaken something in him, to make him feel like you're not just a woman he talked to, you're a moment that lingers in his chest days later. So, breathe in, sit tall, let this sink in. Here's what most people don't talk about. A man may forget the sound of your voice. He might forget what dress you wore or what song was playing, but he will never forget how he felt around you. That's the first truth. He doesn't fall for how you look. He falls for how you made him feel when he was near you. You're not competing with the most beautiful woman. You're standing out by being the one who left a deep feeling behind. Do you ever hear a song that didn't make much noise, didn't have a lot of beats, but hours later it's still playing in your mind? That's what emotional resonance does. It doesn't demand your attention, it claims it quietly. Most women are trying to be the loud song, the one that's fast, full of hooks, flashy. More replies, longer texts, prettier angles, but louder doesn't mean deeper, and louder gets forgotten. That's why so many women give and give and end up confused, thinking, why wasn't I enough? It's because you were speaking in logic. But he was feeling in emotion. And emotion doesn't respond to proof. It responds to presence. Carl Jung said again, the unconscious speaks in emotion and image. So when you speak from nervousness, he doesn't hear your words. He feels the tension. When you speak from trust, he feels grounded. When you speak from need, he senses pressure. But when you speak from presence, he feels safe, curious, drawn in. You ever meet someone and walk away feeling like, I can't explain it, but there was just something about them. That something wasn't their looks. It wasn't how clever they were. It was their emotional frequency. So ask yourself this, are your words filled with pressure or calm? Are you trying to connect or trying to convince? Are you full and open, or are you secretly waiting to be chosen? Because men don't remember the women who beg to be understood. They remember the women who don't explain everything, but let the space between the words speak for them. They remember the ones who let silence feel powerful. The ones who let mystery do the talking. Denzel Washington said, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So let's flip that. In attraction, noise is a greater threat to connection than silence. Fireworks might catch the eye, but real fire, it stays warm even after you walk away. So from now on, stop trying to be heard. Start letting yourself be felt. Don't fill the silence, hold it. Don't push your value, embody it. Don't explain your worth. Stand in it. If you're wondering, okay, what do I actually say to leave that kind of mark? Listen close. This isn't about impressing him, it's about stirring something deeper. Here's one phrase that doesn't flatter. It frames. It doesn't beg. It plants. And when you say it at the right time, in the right tone, it stays with him long after the words are gone. You and me, that could be dangerous. Say it with me, soft, certain. You and me, that could be dangerous. Now let that sit in your body. That's not a pickup line, that's not bait, that's a suggestion, a cinematic one. It hints at something exciting, something slightly risky, something just outside the usual lines. When you say you and me, you're not begging for his attention, you're offering him a vision. A little glimpse into a world where you and him together might just be too much in the best way. And here's what makes it powerful. You don't say it with need, you say it with play. You say it in the middle of talking about something totally ordinary, music, food, travel, and then you drop it like it almost slipped out. You don't follow it with an explanation. You pause, you smile, you leave space for it to echo. That silence after that's where the power lives. If you're wondering, won't that seem too bold? Here's the truth. Bold only feels wrong when it's desperate. But when it's playful and relaxed, it's not bold. It's irresistible. Men don't chase the women who scream their interest. They chase the ones who suggest something deeper, then walk away before he can fully grasp it. It's not what you said, it's what he saw in his mind when you said it. Now we're going to unlock one more line. One that doesn't push, it lingers. One that turns you into a mirror he can't stop looking at. Say this gently, like you almost didn't mean to say it. You have a way of distracting me, and you don't even realize it. That one. That's not loud, it's not even direct, but it makes him think. It stirs him. It makes him replay moments and wonder, what did I do that got to her? This works because it's unclear. You didn't say I like you, you said, you affect me, but I'm not going to tell you how. That unspoken mystery, that fog, is what hooks a man deeper than any compliment ever could. It's like a foggy mirror after a shower. He can almost see it, but not fully. And that makes him lean in closer. That makes him curious. That's what pulls him back. Because the moment he starts wondering about you, you're already in his thought. Clarity is nice, but mystery is unforgettable. So don't be the explanation. Be the spark. Be the mirror. Be the scene he replays in his head. The silence he remembers more than the noise. From knowing your presence already affected him, and you're just letting him feel it. Say it softly, with a little smile after a moment of laughter, like it just slipped out naturally. And then let the silence take over. Don't explain it. Don't wait for a response. Just leave it and walk away, because when a woman speaks in feeling, not proof, when she reflects his energy, instead of trying to prove herself, she becomes unforgettable, not because she said too much, but because she knew the exact words that made him feel like he was the only man who could stir her without even trying. And now we're getting into timing, because you might have the perfect line with the perfect tone, but if it's said at the wrong time, it loses its meaning. So stay with me. This part is going to get deep. Timing is everything. Attraction has a rhythm, and you have to know what time it is, the right phrase. At the wrong time turns into the wrong phrase. Let that really sink in, because timing is the secret no one talks about. You could have the most magnetic energy, the most touching words, the most smooth voice, but if you say it too early, it seems desperate, and if you wait too long, the moment passes, it's gone. The opportunity closes, and that's why true attraction isn't just about language, it's about pace. Imagine you're in a pitch dark room, completely silent, and you strike a match. One small flame. If you light it too early, no one sees it. The eyes haven't adjusted, the flame is wasted. But if you wait just long enough for everyone's eyes to adjust, that one little flame lights up the whole space. That's what timing does. And here's the truth. Most women speak out of discomfort. They fill the quiet. They send messages too quickly. They say deep things during low energy moments when he's distracted, when she's anxious, trying to pull him back. But the real skill is knowing not just what to say, but exactly when to say it. You never say something like, "You and me, that could be dangerous," while you're just sitting across from each other in silence with no vibe. You don't say, "You have a way of distracting me," after a dry text convo. You wait for the natural flow. When there's energy, when you both laugh, when your eyes lock, when you're sharing a space, that's your moment. That's when you light the match. Jung said mystery wakes up the unconscious mind. Why? Because mystery pulls it, makes us wonder, it raises questions, and nothing is more mysterious than a woman who waits, who feels the mood, who understands the moment, and drops her words like heat instead of just out of habit. Let me show you a picture. You're in the middle of a conversation, the mood is light, he's laughing, you're leaning closer, he's telling a story, and there's that pause, that little spark where he sees you. That's the moment. That's when you lean in and softly say, "You and me, that could be dangerous." And then you say nothing else, no over-explaining, no nervous giggle, just silence, just stillness. Let the words hang there, that silence. It's not awkward, it's desire, and desire breeds intention. But if you throw these kinds of lines out when you're nervous, when he's distant, when you're overthinking it, they won't work, because it's not the line that's magic, it's the moment that is. It's not about trying to seduce every second. It's about catching that 1 second that's already full of chemistry and speaking like it's the most natural thing to say. So don't rush. Don't try too hard. Treat the whole connection like a dance. Learn when to hold back, when to step forward. Because emotional skill isn't just about what you say, it's about knowing when he's ready to really feel it. And now let's go even deeper. Because it's not just about what he hears, it's about what's behind your words. This is where your true power lives. And if you get this right, your voice won't just speak, it'll leave a lasting memory. What you say is noise, what you truly mean, that's music. Most women speak in noise, the rare ones they speak in energy. Here's the hard truth. Men don't remember long talks. They remember quick flashes, that feeling of something left unsaid, that pause that made their heart beat a little faster, that one line that wasn't about facts, it was about a feeling. Because in attraction, what's under the surface is everything. A lot of women over-talk, they explain, repeat, adjust, then ask, did that make sense? But a woman with emotional pull doesn't explain her mood, she lives in it. She knows real attraction is not about what's said, it's about what's felt under the surface. And that brings us to a powerful line, a line that's not just emotional but creates a whole image. Say this slowly. If I kissed you right now, I know you wouldn't be able to stop me. Now pause, that line isn't a question, it's not even a request. It's a bold promise, a soft challenge. This line works because it changes the usual dynamic. You're not asking him to kiss you. You're not begging for attention. You're just stating what would happen if you made the move. And you're saying it with confidence. That makes it real. But listen, this won't work if you say it like you're unsure. If your voice shakes, if your eyes wander, if you look for a reaction right away. This only works when it comes from deep self-belief. Your voice soft but steady, a bit playful but calm. Your eyes steady but not harsh. Keep eye contact just enough to let him feel it. Say it like it just slipped out of your mouth, but you meant every word.